Hey guys, how's it going? Episode. I don't remember what episode
I
we're
think we're
on.
on 5.
Well, yeah, New Year episode.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, man. Hold up. Yeah, I got this.
Happy New Year.
Happy.
Yeah. Keeping it so. Got the Shawnee and the Canada Dry.
Keeping it sober but sugary. No, ain't no diet soda today. It's all sugar
Yeah.
soda.
No diet soda today, but yeah, guys. We haven't uploaded in a while. Been really busy and stuff.
Yeah,
and
3
been-
weeks. 3
yeah.
weeks. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been a bit, lazy too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, guys, it's New Year's Eve. It's like just under like 2 hours to go for New Year's. And yeah, guys, we thought, we give you a podcast. Before you think, we don't have better things to do.
Now we were doing all of this with you guys in mind.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So think about that, okay? Going to the New Year. I don't know. I'm just like, are you like a New Year's guy? Do you ever like,
Nah.
ever like in your life? Do you have?
Yeah, I think maybe when I was like 2011 going into 2012.
Yeah.
That was the last like good New Year's I had.
Okay.
And
Good
then
news. Like, what do you like? You actually did something?
Yeah, like we had a lot of fun. I mean, I did stuff the other years, but they were all disasters. You
Well,
know,
like,
I mean, what man? 2011 going to 2012 was like, I yoinked one of my dad's cigars, and I went out with my driver. We went to go buy like my first ever bottle, and yeah, we just went to a party. We trashed the place. I got super fucking hammered. I was about 15 maybe, and yeah, man, got into some altercations, among schoolboys.
That was what, like in Bahrain?
Yeah. And then every year after that was trying to recreate that, and it just was fucking disaster after disaster. And then, yeah, what did I do last year? Last year I was stuck in traffic. I was with my
typical.
my ex-girlfriend. I was stuck in traffic. I had to go pick her up from a party, and then we were going to the desert. And then, because I don't want to party. And then, even this year, I was like, nah, man, fuck that. I don't do that.
I mean, yeah, like, no, if you guys don't know, like, so we out here in Dubai, and like, a lot of people fly out actually, like, for the fireworks, and they make like a whole spectacle out of it, like, even in the clubs and stuff. I think, like, if I'm not wrong, I think like Neo's like performing somewhere today.
And even I think Bruno Mars is in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, is it like New Year's?
Yeah. And there's a lot of
cut the
like,
check. But yeah, guys, so like over here, there's like a big thing, like even like so basically the fireworks. So there's like they take place a couple of places. I think like the popular spots are like the Burj Khalifa. The Palm Island, if you guys have seen it, the Burj Al Arab, and then so even like restaurants and stuff near the Burj Khalifa, like you gotta like book a table, things like they'll have like a New Year's package. So like they really do it up out here. That's why like when he says stuck in traffic, like guys, it's
shut down, man.
It can be like
It's
a real
complete shutdown,
madness.
yeah.
Yeah,
They close roads.
Yeah.
The police close the roads and stuff just to manage it.
I mean, I think in like downtown where like the Burj Khalifa is I think at like 4. They don't let you like come in and stuff. Yeah, because a lot of people come like they wait and stuff. So
and of course, the clubs are gonna make a killing out of this. I think last year I was looking at table prices.
Okay.
I think white was like 100 G's.
I mean, it's got to, man. I mean, you got ballers from like the region, you know.
Yeah.
Coming out here and stuff.
And that's just Dubai, man. Then AD's got its own thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've spent the New Year's in Abu Dhabi.
But there's actually like, dude, I actually really felt like there's an influx of tourists at this time. Like, just a couple days ago, I just had to go. I had to take my aunt around, like, cause she's leaving, and just like going from mall to mall. Dude, it was packed, man. On a weekday, like, like Sheikh Zayed Road, which is like the main highway, just choked.
Yeah.
The malls like full. I was like, you could really see like. There's a lot of.
I was just listening to the radio today, and they were saying something like 1 million people are expected to be in downtown tonight. 1 million people.
I think they're also gonna do it big this year because I think it's the Expo 2020 and all that new day. Yeah. So they're gonna like turn up. Yeah.
So we picked a good day to stay inside.
I don't know. I just never like even like fireworks for me. It's like. I was just thinking about the other day, like, people get fascinated. I'm like, dude, I can like watch a movie, make a movie, do whatever with my phone. Like, that's more impressive than like watching some fireworks. I don't know, like, it's just like not my, like, or maybe if I was in like those popular destinations, you know what you see on TV, like
mm.
Sydney, they
Mm.
do it near the Opera House in Japan,
Mm.
wherever. It's like,
Well, I mean, for a lot of people, this is one of those
yeah,
popular destinations.
yeah,
Clearly, I mean, there's huge
yeah.
influx
So
of
I could
tourists.
see that like if you travel for some, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not something like, oh yo, we gotta go watch the fireworks or like
And I mean, on
something.
top of that, I mean, look, I like fireworks, definitely. I like the show, I like the spectacle.
Mm.
But just this year, I was really like, I really wasn't feeling it, and I actually wanted to have an early night in.
Okay.
I was like, let me just fall asleep at like 9 o'clock, and then I'll wake up at like 6 a.m. on New Year's Day, and I'll go do my own stuff. Like I'll get some breakfast, or
Mm.
utilize the day, whatever, all that stuff. But then we decided we would record, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'd much rather do that than
Yeah.
be outside.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I mean, before we made this plan, I was just like gonna like kick it at home, chill. Like it's like what
Yeah,
I don't know. Like it's like
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. Are you the type like you say, okay, this is like this marks an end of something, and
I
then
mean,
like
yeah, man. It's a pretty relevant as far as New Year's go. It's a pretty relevant New Year because it's a decade.
Yeah.
And I think this is like the most sort of important / influential decade of our lives. Because I mean, we turned
Yeah.
20 this year. At least I turned 20 this year. You turned 20 this year. This decade.
Yeah.
This decade, yeah. And then
No,
it
I
was
ain't that old, man.
it was the end of what? End of high school,
Yeah.
beginning of uni, and then end of uni. So it's pretty significant for us.
I mean, yeah, my high school was like 2010 I finished. So yeah,
yeah.
just like start of the decade.
Dude,
Yeah,
it was an interesting decade. So I mean, in that sense, it's pretty. It's a pretty important New Year's.
okay.
But at the same time, I mean, all the plans that were put forward today, house party, desert. Oh, let's get a table here. Let's go to this restaurant. I was like, nah, man, I'm not really feeling it. Although the boys at the house are they're doing a nice little barbecue. Spend like with the family, friends, all that stuff. And I like that stuff, man. I like, that's an event for me.
Mm.
But like I said, I made up my mind almost like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, that I just wanna be relaxed tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, even for me, like, I think there was a couple of years because like I used to go back home in the winters because like summer is like pretty hot. So yeah, like I done like a bunch of like New Year's like back home, just like with the fam barbecue, like regular shit. But yeah, like I don't know, this year I was like, I don't know. I mean, it is so. It's one of those things. Sometimes also I reflect on like the year that passed and the time wasted and shit like that. So it can be.
Did you feel like this was a good year for you, 2019?
Honestly, no, not really.
Yeah.
No, it's been a bad couple of years. Just trying to get back, trying to
Get back in your mojo.
reclaim the fame. No, yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess like this last like maybe couple of years wasn't like too good, but I guess decade over. I mean, at least I finished college and stuff. Like, got some shit done. Learn some stuff. New experiences, but nothing too crazy. I don't know. I don't know. What about for you?
No, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
The year was good.
Mhm.
There was a bit of a sort of rough patch around sort of March, April, May, but then the rest of it was really solid. Because I had all that job stress before the summer.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I can't find a job, this and that. But I mean, now things have really settled in, and I think I'm in a good groove. And I don't know. Overall, it's been a good year, and I mean, obviously, this is the most important decade of my life so far.
Yeah.
I don't remember shit before like 2004. So I don't remember the first 4 years of the last decade.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it was just being a kid, which was fun,
Yeah.
But 2010 to now 2020 in like a couple hours, I remember a lot. I remember almost every year. Every year was important for something, So it's super important, at least for me. So
What would
far.
you say like the highlight of your year?
The highlight of my year?
Yeah.
Ooh.
We'll go highlight of the year, highlight of the decade.
Highlight of the year was definitely like that little piece of work I did for my internship I had at the beginning of the year, which covered the papal visit to Abu Dhabi, and we did like a little piece with my old journalism professor, and like we did a nice little news segment. That was really nice. That was a good highlight of the year. And then picking up jiu-jitsu was another one. Like starting seriously, I started seriously training in June.
Okay.
And I just got the fourth stripe on the belt yesterday.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, next step is blue belt. So that was a good. Those are two sort of like nice bits of the year, and of course there's a lot of great moments in between. But as standouts, the things I'm gonna probably remember 2019 for were those two things. And highlight of the decade was at the time one of my worst moments, but now in retrospect, I'm like, dude, that was the fucking one of the best things that ever happened to me, which was moving to Abu Dhabi from Bahrain. September 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was a game changer, man. That was a game changer.
Oh yeah. Why?
Because I mean, I moved to this different place, and the world just like cracked wide open. Because Bahrain is like, it's a great place, but it's a little island where everybody knows everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then this place really put me in touch with what was out there for the rest of the world. I felt like if I stayed in Bahrain until now, I mean, I doubt I would have gone to uni there. But if I went out to uni and then came straight back to Bahrain, I wouldn't have met all these different people that I met and all these different experiences and being like one of the biggest cities in the world. There's a lot of shit going on in this part of the world, man. And, you know, Dubai is the place to be for this part of the world. And so I was glad to be on board with, even half of that stuff. Just, I mean, everything, man. Like friends, parties, meeting sort of like, I don't know, man. Just, it's a game changer. So much. I can't even speak right now. I don't even know what happened. But yeah, 2012 sort of. I hated it. At the time, I hated it. At the time, I'm like, this is the worst decision ever. Like, I'm leaving my home. I don't even like this place. Oh, this and that. And I did sort of, not hate it, but I didn't like it for about a year. And then I moved in on my own, and I got to live on my own. And then, I don't know, man, just kind of blew up from there. And now I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. My grandparents were... Because I remember when I first moved, my grandparents, they came and stayed with us for a couple months. And they were, they'd always ask me, they're like, oh, we've been here in the 60s. We're here, for like 30 plus years. You're going to love the UAE. It's the best part of the Middle East. And I was like, no. I love my town, whatever. I love, the neighborhood I grew up in. And they said, just give it some time and you'll see. And now I see, they were right back then. So, yeah, man. That's the highlight of the decade for me.
And what would you say, like the first half or second half of the decade was like your sort of?
I mean, they were equally good for a bunch of reasons. I think the first half of the decade was me still being like a kid, like a real kid. Because I mean, I turned 19 in 2015, and that was also when I moved to Murdoch from Harriet Watt, and that's when I started taking life a little more seriously.
Okay.
But the first half was definitely like being an idiot. Like 2010 was when I got expelled. 2012 was when I got expelled again. And then 2013 and 14 was just me screwing around in uni. And then 2015, first half was me being an idiot. And then second half was we joined Murdoch. And then I was like, it's changed up, man. Started valuing different things and thinking a different way. And then, and then the latter half has been, a little different.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just like sort of, I'm sure for a lot of you guys, you sort of reflect on like sort of end of decades, or, the century. I mean, I'm sure for a lot of guys who like born in the 30s, 40s, and 2000 hit, they must have been reflecting. But like, I don't know, like what you think like so far, like you are like 23 now?
Yeah, 23 now, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like sort of as a kid, what you sort of visualize that like, when I'm 23, I'd be like this, like that, like that, like I don't know where you at with that.
I mean, obviously, I'm not as great as my kid self brought it up to be. I thought I was gonna be like a rapper or something, Well, I mean, when I was a kid, honestly, I thought I was gonna be like a dope dealer, like Scarface or something like that, And I was like, 22 had the Bentley 4-door already, something like that. I was just listening to that song earlier today, but no, obviously I didn't live up to like those childhood expectations.
It wasn't like I wasn't supposed to make it past 25.
Yeah, man, I thought I was gonna die in like a gunfight or something like that. But no, super glad it didn't work out like that. Although, it'd be kind of cool to be a gangster. Man, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about where things are. Obviously, there's a lot of things I want to improve on, And there's a lot of things I was like, I wish I didn't do that shit when I was a kid.
Mm.
But yeah, for the most part, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm cool. I feel good, you know. And what I see for the next decade is, I mean, we turn 30 next decade, 2026. I'm gonna turn 30.
Wow.
So, you know, I said a lot of things I do, but I'm 30. So, you know, I gotta make those things happen. You know.
Damn, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I got about 4 years to 30. Yeah, man. Hopefully, make up for it.
Mm.
No, it's a cool time, man. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess, like, obviously growing up, like, you think boom, 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 like,
Yeah, you think
college.
everything's gonna fall into place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for a while it was, and then, obviously, like, shit happens. But yeah, man.
Mm.
Hopefully this decade, we come. I mean, the early part of the decade was dope.
Yeah.
Because obviously, college, and then, it's obviously freedom. Like, even just getting a car and stuff. I think I got my first car 2012.
Yeah.
I was even thinking about that. I'm like, damn, I've been driving for like 8-9 years now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, even something like that was so cool. Like, like, from a kid to, like, now you got a whip and you're just, like, going around with it. That's cool. And, like, obviously it's like, college was, like, fun. And yeah, in general, it was like, obviously, like, so many experiences, met so many people. And that's one thing, you do see out shares. It's like meeting people from, like, different places, things like that, different experiences. So that was cool. And then, I guess, like, post-murder hasn't been, like, as I would have, like, maybe imagined. But no, man. But we got the podcast now.
That is true. We started this, like, what?
It is something I want to do. So I am, like, glad that we got,
yeah.
like, this, and I got my other, like, YouTube
Well,
shit
that's one
popping
thing.
out.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I did say for a bit that I wanted to seriously work in radio. I wanted to be in radio. And I mean, this is something I remember I was talking to you about this when we first started. I was like, yo, man, this is important for me. Like, even if we get, like, 0 views and we just never go anywhere with it, like, I like doing this stuff. This is fun,
I mean, yeah, even for me, like, just watching interviews and stuff, I was even, like, imagine myself, like, if I'm with someone like a Drake or whatever, like, I'd be asking these kind of things or whatever, if you guys don't know, by the way, like, Drake just dropped. If you guys are Drake fans, I think he dropped an interview like a few days ago.
On Christmas Day, he dropped the rap.
Yeah, Rap Radar,
Yeah,
Elliot Wilson, and the other guy. I don't know his name. But yeah, like, I used to watch all because that was actually one of my, like, first obsessions on YouTube was, like, just being able to find, like, whoever I was, like, into, whether it was an athlete or actor, whoever, like, just, like, go and, like, see, like, what they talk about, like, ask questions, things like that. Because you could find that, like, on TV and stuff. Like, just think about, like, if you to find, like, interviews on TV, you know how long it'll take? Like, in, like, once in a year, like, something will pop up. It's like an interesting interview.
And even then, like, what was it when we were kids? It was the talk shows like Ellen and Oprah Winfrey and stuff, which was some super, like, generic, basic questions, and then they do some goofy shit.
Well, not Oprah. I guess, like, Oprah is, like,
Oprah was pretty serious, but I mean, she'd never had. I mean, back when Oprah was on, like, Drake wasn't up or Kanye wasn't up. But at least the people I idolized. I mean, they were bringing in, like, Tom Cruise and stuff, and I was like, yeah, cool, but it's not really the guys I look up to. No athletes, no fighters, nothing, none of that stuff, right? But and even if they did, it was some super generic, basic questioning, like, how'd you get started? And I'd be like, man, I know how I got started. He raps about it in all his songs, I know that stuff. But the sort of intricacies of the superstar lifestyle or whatever, being an athlete or a rapper or whatever. But now, I mean, now everybody's got the 2-hour format or whatever. There's a wealth of content, and I definitely wanted to contribute.
And that's another thing too, like, just how much things have changed. I mean. I mean, you just look at it, like, technology-wise. I mean, 2010s while we were rocking Blackberries and stuff.
Yeah, Instagram launched in 2010.
Yeah, I don't even think I was, like, on, like,
I remember we used to hate on it because it was the new thing, But now everyone's, like, rushing to the new thing. If the new thing comes up, I remember back then everyone was still a little bit like, oh no, this is that, whatever, No one really realized how big. But what I mean by this is that, I mean, like, we weren't really on our phones as much because phones was ass back then. And
even just, I mean, like, even on, like, a BlackBerry and stuff, like, I don't know if you could really, like, watch maybe like if you
I wouldn't
had
watch
to
a
open
video. I wouldn't watch a video.
But, like, now, like, I live on my phone, like, even if I'm, like, doing anything. You know,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
I'll have like something running in the back,
Yeah,
even if
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like half interested. You
Yeah,
know,
everything, man. Like, I mean, I got Spotify. So then the
that
music,
was game changer.
that was a game changer. The music list, like, the music just went up through the roof.
Yeah.
Discovered new artists, and it really changed a lot of things. I was looking at my Spotify metrics. Did you check out your metrics?
Yeah, I actually did. It was like pretty crazy. Like, I was gonna send you something, but I was listening to guys like from like, I don't know, like 40 plus like countries or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like, you know, I think I had my like genres, and I think it was like, obviously like hip hop. I think it was like pop. Like what was it?
Pop rap or pop hip
Yeah,
hop. Yeah.
and then there was like I think there was like rock, some sort of. There was obviously you know the desi pop.
You listen to Desi music?
I don't listen, but I listen to like certain so by the way, so obviously you know at the beginning of the year we went to that concert, right?
Junaid, yeah.
So I was not Junaid, that's just a guy's name. Junaid.
Junoon, yeah. Oh, you know, I've been saying Junaid this entire time.
So like so yeah, like obviously I was like bumping that like prior to the concert and shit, but I don't listen to like the pop shit. I listen to like some guys like there's a couple of guys who do sort of like it's sort of like hip hop based kind of shit.
Like a Yo-Yo Honey Singh.
No, not that. No. That dude's like corny, but like this guy Imran. You remember like when we was at that party and that song came on?
Yeah.
And so again, like that. So we're gonna do like a top 10 like album discussion and stuff later on. And so yeah, like that song, like you know, that was like a game changer. So it's like just like a couple artists, like, but not like the Bollywood stuff, and you know, oh, you know, your eyes are like the sun, and you know all this bullshit. Now,
Nah, sing it in Hindi, man. Come on now. Nah, I'm playing.
so
Yeah.
but yeah, like it was that, and then yeah, it was mostly I guess like hip hop. I think yeah, also like reggaeton and stuff. And yeah, I think that was like my top 5. And artists obviously it was like Drake and Kanye every year.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, if you guys watch that the top 10 albums whatever of the deck, is gonna be a lot of Drake and Kanye.
Yeah, no, man. The Spotify was a game changer. Instagram definitely. Snapchat. When did Snapchat launch, man? Like 2011, I think. Something like that.
I mean, I don't know when it like really got popping. I'd say maybe like 13, 14.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember like I think I was like near like the end of my first like uni cycle when it was like you know.
And then of course like the two biggest were like just sort of the wealth of content on YouTube in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube was big like even before then. Like it's been running since like 06, right? But
not like now.
you know, this past decade like things just like blew up. And of course like the king of it all, Netflix just changed it, man. Like yeah. Now it's just now like Netflix kind of pushed me away from watching movies almost because there's just so much stuff to watch that I'm like,
is there that much to watch on Netflix though? Like, do you think?
I mean, there's a lot of titles if that's what you're trying to say. But if stuff that I would normally watch, no.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I
the
don't think
thing.
so.
Like, even for I don't know. Like so far, I mean, again, we're talking about Netflix out here. Like I don't often find that much stuff to watch. You know, like I've sort of like I know like people always harp on about why do you need to go to cinema? You got but it's like there's not like that much good stuff on it.
Well,
like,
that's the thing, right? Because there's so much stuff. The reason it
Yeah.
kind of pushed me away from watching movies and
Yeah.
TV shows, sorry, because there's just so much stuff and everything's just sort of generic. And I don't know. I guess they have like a quota to fill or just pop out as much content as possible.
Yeah.
Then everything just kind of dropped in quality. I felt over the past 10 years, everything was just like light, you know, like there's some YouTube videos out there with more production quality and storytelling than a friggin' Netflix show.
Well, I
You
think
know?
also, you know, in this era, I mean, we've just like I think we've also just seen so much that, like, you know, it's hard to like keep like, for example, like if you look at shows like Friends, for example, like it was cool back then, but like now we need some different like that kind of, you know, where you have the crowd like laughing in the back and like I don't know, it's just like people want like something more raw, something a bit a bit different, you know, because I don't know if like those kind of shows, like even stand up, for example, like when I watch it now, it, you know, it doesn't like make me laugh like that, or like I can see stuff coming from a mile away because we've seen like so many like you know, like we sort of know the formula. Look, they're gonna do this, the punchline, blah blah blah, like you know, whatever things like that. So, and I remember like I was these guys, Brian Callen, Brendan Shaw, like Brian Callen was talking about it, and he said, he's like, like, there was a time where, for example, you'd have like a 6-year-old saying something that like a 26-year-old would say, and like, that'd be funny, whatever. So you had these things, or like, in Bollywood, you see like a cross dresser, and like,
Yeah.
that was like
Sort of like these at the time unique moments.
yeah, and
Right.
then like now it's like we've seen all of that. We've
Yeah.
seen the innuendo, sexual innuendo, whatever. Like, now it's like, what's like the next? That's why I feel like, especially when you see comedies,
Yeah.
you don't see that many coming out,
Yeah.
and like they're not even like doing numbers like that.
Yeah.
And that's why you see like obviously you see like for example like Marvel movies and stuff. Of course they make it like some light humor, because obviously it's like sort of commercial entertainment. But I do think even that sort of that wave of like movies, things like that, like it's like I don't know. I feel like that's gonna be a tough, because I've been a fan of comedy movies, and like I just don't see it like that like anymore. Like just
I mean, a lot of that has to do with the culture going on. Because now, I mean, I think everyone's more aware of stuff.
yeah.
So,
So even like rom coms, for example, I'm sure like in the last decade,
yeah.
I know like you also mess with those.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I like the rom-coms.
So like
There were loads of them in the 2000s.
Yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
thing. You see, if you do it now, we know exactly, okay, friends with benefits, then one of y'all starts liking each other, then some beef,
Yeah.
and then you date someone else,
Yeah,
you
there's
realize,
the formula. Yeah, there's the
Yeah.
formula.
So
right.
like I think, and also I think that's one thing to do with like, obviously the internet, things like that. We're just so aware of things. Like how do you sort of like mix it up? So hopefully like my thing is like, I just hope in the next
Yeah.
decade, like that'll be something I'd like to see
Yeah.
where like you can switch up comedy like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah.
I'm trying to think like the last time I really like laugh like
Yeah.
watching a movie or
Yeah.
something like that.
You think maybe that's because we're just getting older and we're more cynical?
I don't know, because I see like even with like the youngins and stuff, I don't even think like they mess with like.
Oh yeah, I mean, comedy's different now. Everything's like memes are still the only thing that make me kind of laugh.
Yeah.
I don't laugh from stand up. I haven't laughed from stand up in a long time.
Yeah.
In a long time.
I think I think that memes and that kind of wave is like that's still like pretty funny. I just saw this really funny one the other day. It was like it's like guys on PS4 that talk shit, and this guy, he's standing outside a plane.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you had a PlayStation? You have a PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's about to take off. Like it's so loud. So like shit like that. People get pretty like creative with it and stuff.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like, I like that.
No, but
shit.
even that, I mean, like memes don't rarely have life cycles more than a year. Because everyone's always trying to look for new stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of the stuff has become so like, I mean, deep fried memes now are just. What's funny about them? The fact that it just looks stupid, Well, not stupid. I mean, I love deep fried memes, but
I mean,
yeah,
I wonder how like content would change, because sometimes I watch these YouTube videos and they edit in a way where there's no pauses. So like if I'm talking and I'll stop my sentence, I'll have a pause, and then I can. They just have. I don't know if you've
the
noticed
jump cuts, right? Yeah, it's quick cuts. Yeah.
So like I don't know like how it'll be with movies and stuff, because again like maybe like we're older, so it's fine with us. But I'm sure like the new gen, they can be like sitting through like a 2-hour movie, like say something like The Godfather, right?
Yeah.
Where it sort of has its pace. Like I don't think like the kids will like be able to just like, because it's like you need that, like especially today, like because if you're so used to watching stuff on YouTube and stuff. So I wonder like in the next decade how things like that would shift, because I can see it myself too. Like I can see sometimes I'll be watching a movie and like I'll like fast forward like some shit, because like I'm so like I'm so used
You're
to
so used to quick content.
yeah, because and I'm always on YouTube. Like even sometimes if like my phone's bugging out for like 2-3 seconds, I'm like I actually get pissed. It's like it's quite strange, but no, I think like technology wise it's been dope. Like I mean it's just like everything. Even I'm sure like I mean we're not like sort of working online and stuff, but I'm sure like people who do business like worldwide, they must have like capitalized so much on this. Like I mean I know like one of our friends like B Money AB.
Oh yeah.
So like he works with like international clients and stuff. Because of the internet, he's able to find them, reach them, and like he'll actually go see them and make.
Dude, all my
like
jobs, my internships and stuff that I got over the past couple of years were always just like following the right person on LinkedIn, and just stalking the shit out of them and like getting it done,
Yeah. I wonder also, like, looking into the new decade, how that affect like
Mm.
just people's
Yeah.
ability to
No,
socialize, things like that.
I mean, one of the downfalls is like in the past like 4 or 5 years, I found that when you meet up and talk to people, there's just a lot less to say because I feel like everyone's just done with talking. You know, I'll talk about. I mean, like, no, seriously, I'm talking about like when I meet new people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The conversation always feels disappointed. I always feel disappointed with the
Yeah, I
conversation.
know, man.
You know, because it's just sort of uh, generic. I guess I don't know. I guess maybe it's because we're meeting generic people, or maybe we're generic. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
But
I like, for me, I also feel like maybe it's also like, I don't know, like being self-aware and stuff too. Like, you sort of don't want to like if I just met you and be like, oh yeah, I do this and I do that, and like, oh, like,
here's something
my,
I don't know, man. I don't know. I got started thinking in my head, and I'm just like, oh fucking hell, man. Like all this good stuff's happened, but like one of the worst things that's happened, at least I feel, maybe it's our age, our gen,
Yeah.
part of the region, which part of the world we're in, the people we're mixing with. But I just feel like nobody can really talk, shoot the shit anymore, like properly. Things feel a little, what's it called?
But like
I'm getting bored from conversations a lot quicker than I used to, at least.
yeah.
You know.
But I think that's also sort of like growing up and stuff, because
Mm.
I guess like there's sort of this like value of time and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, because like back in the day, it's like whatever, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now,
see, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, not like now. Okay, say you met someone like just like the next, I don't know, like tomorrow at the coffee shop
Yeah.
or something like that, right? And time was, I would care so much about that person's life because it'd be the most interesting thing. To me.
yeah.
But now I'm just like, fuck, whatever, man. I don't give a shit.
Like, yeah, like I got my own
and,
shit.
and that's the kind of part that I don't like because I don't want to be the guy who doesn't give a shit. Like I love giving a shit, but at the same time, I just like you said, it's a time thing. I'm getting older. I probably would have seen this shit before, more experience, all that, etc., etc. But that's the part that kind of sucks about all of this. I just give less of a shit.
But then I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess don't you kind of like have to, like, don't you think it's good though? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean it's necessary.
yeah.
But I miss having that sort of time to goof around.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
And like goofing around means like meeting a stranger. I remember, dude, my Uber driver. I had an Uber driver one time, in on the East Coast in the States, and it was just some dude, and like I didn't even need to go anywhere. I just got on the Uber, and I was like, "Yo, man, what's up? Tell me about something. Just tell me something. Let's just talk to me." Okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the fuck?" No, but and then we met up. Then like he literally drove me to the mall, and then I was like, "Dude, do you got rides to do?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "Yeah, let's go have a coffee."
Just continue talking, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then Omar's getting up for a second, but he's just checking on the camera real quick. But yeah, we just sat down, we had a coffee, and I told him about the UAE, and he told me about like his part of the world. He's from the Dominican Republic, and just had a good conversation. Now I feel like if someone tries to do that shit with me, like I don't know, if I met some kid at a coffee shop, or I don't know, I just met someone and they start talking to me, I just be like, "Man, get the fuck away from me, man! I don't have time for this shit anymore." Which sucks that I'd say that, because I miss having time for
What do you think about like life excitement wise too? Like, do you think like there's enough shit happening where it's like if you link up with someone that there's like so much stuff to sort of talk about, things like
Well,
that?
yeah. See, well, that's part of not having time for all this bullshit, is because I have to make time for my shit, which is the exciting part of my life, right? Like, I mean, my work stuff, the relationships, and like my hobbies, and my own skills and improvement. That's the exciting stuff, right? So I can no longer afford to find excitement in the dumb shit. Okay, example, like imagine like this was like 2-3 years ago. I give you a call like one in the morning, and we go get a tea, and that would be the most fun. That'd be like super fun because we talk shit and drink tea.
Yeah.
But if you call me at 1 in the morning now and we're like, "Yo, man, let's get a tea," I'm trying to go fuck yourself, because I'd be like, "Dude, because I gotta wake up, I gotta hit my work, and then I gotta and then I gotta train, and then I gotta link up with this guy who may give me a lead on this, and then or I gotta study for my GRE, or I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and all those things that I have to do are great because it's excitement and it's all like, you know, progress for the future or whatever, and that'll pay off big in the future. But also, like, you know, I take pleasure in doing it. But the trade-off is I don't have time to shoot the shit anymore. When I don't have time to shoot the shit, you know, I miss out on a lot of conversation, and I don't know, man. Some weeks I just like, I have sort of the minimum conversation that a human being could have, because I'll just be at work, I come home. If I don't train that day, I'll literally just eat, and I want to like decompress and watch like some TV or something, and watch some Netflix. You know, and even like I don't even want to see like, you know, people, which sucks, because then like, you know, suddenly 4 or 5 days go by and I haven't like talked about a bunch of stuff, which, you know, as we like, you and me, we love fucking talk. You know, we can't shut up.
But then that's the thing. Like, could you do that with like anyone?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to. I'd love to do that stuff. I'd love to, you know, link up with the. I remember when I used to take taxis, I didn't drive. Yeah. Every taxi driver would be a different conversation for me. Yeah. Now, if I was to get in a taxi, I'd just be like, dude, shut up. Like, you know, and just I get on my phone and
I mean,
get to the destination.
That's one thing for sure that I miss about uni and stuff. Just like, you know, meeting like different sorts of people, like just like having random conversations. Like you remember like after class and shit too. Like I just like, you know, even if it was like some bullshit, like even if someone was just speaking like some horseshit, it was just still like, you know, different vibes.
And, you know, it was fun. Like, even though we knew it was horseshit, like it was still fun, right?
Yeah.
But now imagine if someone's talking horseshit to you, you're gonna be like, bruh, like, you know, you're gonna think it's wasting your time, which I guess maybe it is.
Dude, like legit, the other day I was like pissed. Because I was like with my fams and stuff, right? Yeah. And I had to just go like for a bit. But then obviously, you know, oh, I have to pick up this and, you know, this, that, whatever, right? So I wasted like 6 hours of my day. Which like I do on like PlayStation and shit too. But the thing is, because I really wanted to like edit some video. I have so much footage that I need to edit, but I haven't done it. And my plan was to do that. I was like, boom, I'm going to do this quick. I'll be, you know, home in like an hour. Cool. And I legit, I got home, I was pissed, man. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why am I like, you know, wasting the whole day? This, that. I wanted to watch the football game, which is also a waste of time. Yeah. But it's just like, because it's like my shit, I actually like felt pissed, and I was like, you know, I don't know if it's a good thing, but like, but one thing I would say, like, you know, when you said talking was, I don't know, for me, I do feel a bit that like, of course, like, if you want to talk about shit, you can talk about shit. But I do feel like sort of a lack of excitement in sort of the... And I remember like even talking to some like old people about it. You know, they sort of just make it seem like, oh, like that's life, you know, like... Oh. Like, you know, it's not gonna be this like exciting thing. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, you know... It's like, I don't know if like, I just wanted to be like, just so like, whatever, you know, like, just like the days are passing by. And that's what it's, because that's the thing, because I see with so many people where it's just like, you know, that's what it is. It's like, yo, you got to accept, and whatever, you know, on the weekend, like you do your shit and, you know, whatever. And, but yeah, like, I don't know, like, I like, to me, like at this point, I have felt a bit of, I guess also like, I'm not like, you know, doing much about it, but I have felt like a bit like lack of excitement. So that's like if
you lost your passion, you lost your fire.
Not that, I mean just like in daily shit, like when I talk to someone, like, you know, like I'm not living this life. I'm like traveling every week or like some shit like that. So in that sort of sense, like, you know, when we talk about conversating with others, I do feel like, yo, like, what are we gonna, like, you know...
What are we gonna talk about?
Yeah, like you and I, like, we're close enough, we can talk about whatever. And we have, like, similar interests, right? So I can say, yo, you seen the Drake interview, blah, 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 go back and forth. But, like, if there's not that, I do feel like with the lack of sort of eventful things happening, it does seem like less... So it's like, oh, so what's new with you? Like, sometimes, like... you know, sometimes I get messages from like old friends or like old family, whatever. Yeah. And they just be like, yo, so, you know, what's happening? And like, I can just feel like the convo was so stale. Cause like, you know, cause what do you say? Like, if it's something that you can be like, oh yeah, I know, last week I was in Geneva and, you know, and whatever, you know, like the week before, you know, I was Abu Dhabi Grand Prix or, you know, like, or whatever.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you're saying like you're not doing any interesting stuff on your own. And that's really the cause of the problem.
Oh, yeah.
Which, yeah, I guess that definitely makes sense. I mean, what I was talking about was like, I'll tell you a story. I'll give you an example. Okay. So last week, about last weekend, I went to my homegirl's housewarming, right? She just moved into an apartment. She wanted to have a couple people over. And she did, you know, it was nice. They had the wine, the cheese, the finger food, and the place is tiny, man. It's smaller than this room, okay. But it was nice because it was, you know, it was like I was like, oh, people, like, you know, we get to socialize and new people do this and that, right? And it was one of the fucking hardest things I've ever done in my life. Was trying to make conversation, right? Because
what was the demographic?
just, I don't know, it was a healthy mix, guys and girls. Most of them were her uni friends.
But like the age was like your age or like?
Oh, yeah, everyone's in their 20s, right?
Okay.
Fuck, I remember, man. I was so excited to go because I was like, you know, we're gonna, you know, get to talk to people about stuff, and you know, we're gonna, I don't know, man. I felt like I wanted to be social,
Yeah.
you know. And then when it got to it, like I said, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life because I was just trying to make conversation. I was like, the fuck am I talking about? I'd be like, so yeah, how's it going? How's your day? How's work? You know, just shit like that. I was trying to make generic conversation. And obviously, if I came with that energy, the replies are going to be generic and then the conversation died out in a second, you know. But I mean, one thing was my homegirl did salvage that whole night, at least for me. She played this game. It was really funny. She played this game where, like, you write down something about you on a piece of paper, and what's it called? Positive, negative experience in your life, whatever. And you crumple it up and you mix it up, and everybody picks one, and then they read it and they try to guess who it is, which is cool, I guess. You know, to meet, you know, to get to know about somebody, whatever.
And stuff
Right.
like, yeah.
And I realized, like, dude, why do we need this game? You know, because I mean, I could have done this like normally, you know, but then I realized, like, maybe I could have.
But
once upon a time,
what do you think it
but
is?
not
What do you
now,
think
for
the
sure.
reason is that?
I don't know, man. I guess we all just grew up a little bit, and everyone's a little more concerned about their image and conservative about what they sort of
Like
put
you
out
think
there.
people's like too cool for like the?
I don't think it's the too cool thing. I think it's just, I don't know. I guess most people just don't have the energy anymore to talk on that level, you know. And also, it's awkward, I guess.
But
I don't know. It wasn't awkward for me.
But
like,
you know one thing I will tell you, like I think it's a lot different back home.
what do you mean, like India, Pakistan, shit like that?
Like back home, I think like if I was to move back, I think like a month I have like 100 friends. Like it's so much because I don't know, for some reason people are so down to talk like all the time. Like I go to the barber, I go anywhere, like we just start like laughing, having like a nice chat, whatever, like doing shit, and like, oh yo, like you need this, yo, hit me out, or like, cause over there like I be always riding on like Uber Kareem and stuff.
Yeah.
Yo, it's like some mad convo going on.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
yo, you want to do business here? Take my thing. Yo, you buy the car. It's this much. Uber will take this. Like this is. It's like everywhere you go, it's like people just down to talk. Like you know.
Yeah.
Which like I think is like it's pretty different. Like experience of like I remember like when I went this year, like I could really feel like any small place you go to the shop.
Yeah.
There's just this, it's like I don't know, even me, I feel like more open to like make a joke.
Yeah.
And then they'll laugh and then they'll make a joke and then boom, boom, boom. Like we're just talking. And then next time you go back, they're like, oh, you know, and it's like,
I mean, yeah, that was sort of the same at the States. Same thing. Uber drivers talk to every single one of them about their day and whatever. But I mean, like, I don't know. I'm referring to that one night, which is, it just kind of got into my mind. Like a few
I mean,
months ago.
I think, you know, I mean, this is one of those, you know, when I'm sitting at home thinking about shit. But I think it's like now because of just like the way the world works,
What do you mean the way the world works?
No, I mean in general, like let me get to my point. You get what I'm saying, but it's like I think people don't need each other as much as they did before, because you know obviously you got internet. Like you know if you got a job, whatever. Like it's you know like if you live in here, you got a job, whatever. Like you don't really need anything like unless other than like you know having a conversation or whatever. It's not like you need someone to like do this for you, that for you, whatever. Whereas I think like back in the day it was like a lot more like collectivist society kind of thing. Was like people relied on each other. So that's why they're sort of more prone to like, oh, we gotta make like a connection in a way. You know, so and I think that's why like back home I think society's still like that. Even though obviously it's like filtering out because, you know, the new gen internet, whatever. But that's a place where still, you know, you need to know people to like get shit done, you know, like okay, I want to buy a house, I go to this guy. Like like back home you want anything to get done, you know, like you could pick up a phone call, fucking get your knee replaced at home. So like it's a madness, you know. Yeah, but and like it works like that, and it's so much like people depending on each other. I think that's why like when they meet, like they actually want to make connection. And it's not like in like a malicious way where it's like, oh hey, I know this guy's powerful, so let me befriend him. It's more just like, hey, like we all need each other, so let's like, you know, like make an effort kind of thing. Whereas like in my case, like for example, I'm not gonna go into a room and think like, yo, I need any of these dudes, right? So even like on my end, it's like, alright, cool. If you know, it's a convo, it's a convo. If it's not, I feel like, you know, I don't care. And then like, you know, obviously like, you know, and I'm sure a lot of these guys think too. They're not thinking like, oh, I need, you know, to talk to this guy or need their approval or whatever. So I think that also like plays some factor. I do think like we are at a stage now where we're not so reliant on others, like, you know, at least like other people, maybe like for us, like our parents or whatever, something like that. But I do think like in general, that's where sort of like the world's at in a way. I don't know, like you think so? Or?
I don't know if that really. I don't know if people in our age range are thinking about that. Because I mean, I don't fucking. Most of what they're thinking about is just, you know, partying. At least from what I've seen, you know. But yeah, I guess there's a lot of truth to that, definitely. Because I mean, we don't really need. We can live on our own pretty much. You know, we don't need anybody for anything. You know,
like that's the thing.
Live in our own bubble, right?
Yeah, just how the world, like, you know, with technology and stuff, I really don't think that, you know, like for example, like me, like whatever, I got a couple homies. That's it. Like I'm not like out here, like, and I think that's the thing where I don't feel like I need to go meet people because I'm like, yo, like if I'm gonna do it on my own, you know, like or something like stupid like that. But
no, but that being said, I mean, I definitely want to meet new people because I mean, socializing has always been fun.
Yeah,
at least for me.
Yeah.
You know, fresh perspective, this and that, whatever. But it was super hard to do that night. And then I thought about it a lot. I was like, oh, was it because, you know, I was like a weirdo, or like they were weirdos, or like was it the timing? Was that it? You know, maybe I wasn't like feeling it that night. Which then, I mean, that's the thing, right? Because like now I kind of have to feel it on demand almost, because I can't just chill with people whenever I want. I can't just call somebody up at like 10 a.m. and be like, yo, let's go chill, because I'll be in the office, right? So there's like a time and place for everything, and then you have to feel it as well. Because I mean, how many times have we, like, you know, you go out to something and you know, this has been planned for like a month in advance, like that party we went to, you know, Didi's birthday, and just imagine that night if we were like not feeling the energy, you know. And we had work, like, you know, the rest of the week. So that would be our only night to kind of go loose. Yeah. And if we weren't feeling it, we'd be like, man, you know, fuck this, you know, whatever. But, yeah, and that's another thing. That's another thing I miss, you know. We can just be silly on demand, you know. Just be in the mood. We could be in the mood whenever it comes, you know. We don't have to do it at certain times. You know, that's why I kind of hate the weekends now, because it's really cool to relax, but then there's an obligation to stuff everything in on the weekends, and then it just becomes hectic, man. You know, I don't want to do that stuff. Thursday night, someone's calling me. Someone just called me right now. Thursday night, someone called me. Friday, what are we doing Friday? What are we doing Friday night? Oh, Saturday. Oh, yeah, you know, let's do something Saturday, 10 p.m. We'll all go home. I'm like, dude, what if I just want to fucking chill, you know? Like, and then, obviously, it's hard enough to do that shit midweek, but am I swearing too much?
Nah, whatever, man. It's not like we're getting YouTube money right now. It's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, no, but
I mean, I don't know, like when you, because you know that's one of those things that I do think about, that like sort of eventually what position I do want to be in, and I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, on the one side, I do think, like, you know, like I'd like to work on the craft. You know, I do believe, like, you know, sort of like shouldn't like sort of waste potential, things like that. But at the same time, I do believe in also, like, you know, like sometimes it's like chilling with the fams, or like, you know, because I mean, like now we're in this mode but like, you know, one day, you know, maybe we're married, and that's a different animal, because like, you know, it's your wifey, so when you come home you gotta give time on the weekend, and then you have kids, so like, so that's like a different beast. And that's like, when I think about it, I'm like, you know, what kind of like I'd like if I could sort of maybe work from home, or, you know, something like that, or like a type of job where maybe after like maybe work 2 months, and then, you know, get some time off, things like that, or like, you know, sort of work on my basis kind of thing. I think that's sort of like a healthy balance for me, because I think it is important, like, because just like the weekend thing and stuff, I do believe in, like, sort of having moments and
Mm.
stuff. Like, like, it's one of those things when you look back, it is like a nice thing to have,
Yeah.
right? So
I
that is.
mean, another thing is, the norm is this 40-hour work week for a lot of people, um, which is, I mean, at least I'm finding that it's a bit of a pain, you know. I mean, I have a little more than 40 hours. I got 10 hours a day. Um, and it's like this is the standard now for everybody. Everyone's kind of accepted that this is what life's gonna be like, you know, which is not necessarily true. Now I'm not advocating. I mean, like, did you hear about that thing in Japan with the 4-day work week? Okay, now that feels like something like that maybe might work for them, and I'm not advocating for like a radical solution, but I'm just sort of pointing out the fact that like everyone's sort of accepted that this is the norm, and not everyone does a lot to change it, and I don't know. At least I don't feel miserable, but I definitely feel like, oh man, like
So
this
here's
sucks.
the thing, right?
Yeah.
I think that, like, so this, I don't know if it directly correlates, but I'll give you an example. So in the NBA,
Mm.
people was complaining it's too many games. So NBA is the 82 game season,
Oh,
and
that's a
yeah,
lot. Yeah.
that's season, and then there's playoffs and stuff,
Yeah.
and there's preseason, right?
Yeah.
So people were saying it's a lot of games, and then you had back to backs, and so it was a horrible, like, injury numbers.
Yeah.
So many star players getting injured, whatever, right? And now they've adjusted it to the point where it's a longer season. That way, there's I don't even know if there are back to backs. If there are, there's very few, right? But the thing was, like, one of the reasons why I think maybe not, like, they were discussing why the players won't all want to say make less games, because less games means less money.
Yeah.
So as, like, sort of employees, people are gonna say, like, yo, like, let me work, let's say 30 hours in a week,
Mm.
but then, like, they say, okay, we're gonna pay you for, like,
Yeah.
you see, like, even now, like, when people are working like 40 hours a week, there's a lot of, like, BS time in the middle, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so they can sort of stretch it. Now you could go in, like, for example, let's say they said, okay, come, like, let's say they said 30 hours, so 3 days you come 10 hours, right?
Yeah.
So you can have the mindset where you say, yo, these 10 hours I'm putting in a shift,
Yeah.
but as soon as done, like, bounce,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm gonna be zoned in, and that way maybe it could be productive.
Mm.
But then they could say, yo, if you're working 3 days in a week, that
Yeah.
means you're 12 days in a month.
Yeah.
So then they're gonna be like, yo, like, if they're paying like whatever 20 G's, they're gonna be like, yo, like, you're working 3 days.
Yeah. But if the productivity is the same, then they'll have the same amount of money to pay.
I know, but then maybe they look at it as, it's, maybe it's not worth. Maybe you figures that's one of those things where you gotta have to balance it, because maybe
and I
they.
mean, and honestly, what's the guarantee that even in those 30 hours, employees gonna go hard, right?
I mean, yeah. Look, I think in a way it's nice, because when you have the work, it's at least you're focused. Because like when you have more time, you will be a bit like, oh. But imagine even for you, like I don't, like, I'm that sort of guy where I'd, like, just go in, and then once I'm done, boom, like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I prefer like that. Like, even if I'm studying, rather than studying like 2 weeks for like 2 hours for like a couple of days, I'd rather put in like a 10-hour shift once in a week
Yeah.
than study 2 hours. So at least it's like I'm in, then I'm out.
Yeah.
And I think it would work for a lot of people. But then I do think, like, even if the result is the same, I do think it could affect like the money, because it just seems like that, no? Because it's like weird, because it's like, yo, I see you 3 times a week, like, maybe I should pay you less. And then you say no, this, that, and then we find someone else. And so I think that's where, like, maybe they gotta I don't know, like, it is something interesting, because I do think, like, if you can get the same productivity and and your employees are happier, things like that. Because if imagine that balance. I mean, 3 days working, 4 hours, 4 days.
No, if you had like say 4 days work, 4 days of work,
yeah,
and you had a 3-day weekend, that's
Yeah.
a whole extra day.
yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely can. The hobbies can get better.
Yeah.
The rest can get better.
100%. Yeah.
Family, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'll be interesting to see, like, how
Yeah. They did that in Japan for a bit, Microsoft, and they said
Okay.
productivity shot up. But I mean, every culture is different, every place is different.
Yeah.
Every
I mean,
company is this. I mean, some companies can't afford for people to only work 4 days a week,
Yeah.
because of just the nature of their work.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
also there. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I would also say, like, just that, again, like, moving into the new decade. That's also, by the way,
Yeah.
like talking about jobs and stuff. My thing was like, yo, how's the education game gonna change? Like, do you think like the online university shit could like really blow up?
Mm. There's that All Academy place out here in Dubai. It
Okay.
was started by this girl. She's quite young.
Mhm.
There's a huge push for like, alternative learning and
Yeah.
you know how the whole what's it called, the traditional school system. What is a school day, man? 8 hours a day, almost, something like that.
I mean, when I
It's
was in
less,
school, it was like, yeah, just maybe yeah, just under like
7 hours
8 hours.
a day. Yeah, and that whole classroom structure, periods. You know,
Yeah.
1 hour this, 1 hour that, whatever. They're saying that's probably not the best learning environment for everybody. Obviously, it works really well with some people, but then especially a lot of people in this day and age are finding it a little harder to focus. There's a thing in California where they made it mandatory for school days to start after 7 something.
Okay.
No longer like at 7 or before. I think maybe at 8 o'clock they have to start. I don't know. You have to get the exact number up.
Okay.
But you know, basically for the day to start later, so people can get a little more rest and sleep, because in this day and age, you know, it's just go 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 go. Everything's
Yeah.
up, you know, and obviously the competition is not like it was like 20 years ago. When we were kids in school, it was different, you know.
Yeah.
The learning was like we didn't take the learning home with us as much, because now, you know, every school university has like an e-learning system.
Yeah.
You know, so they get their assignments like that, and you know they're expected to, because they have the resources 24/7. They're expected to work a little more. So yeah, there's an All Academy place that started out here for alternative learning, and there's loads, man. There's loads. I mean,
there's a lot of things, but my thing is like, would it sort of get into the mainstream where that's sort of socially accepted?
yeah, right, yeah,
Work-wise, and
yeah.
I mean, the scary thing for me is when you have something like that,
Mm.
you know, the competition
Oh yeah,
is real. And see, that's the thing. Like, another thing with work and stuff is like, if your job does not require that much sort of creative input,
yeah,
and when I say creative, I don't just mean like if you work in like art or whatever,
yeah,
but just some sort of input where like it's got to be a human input and
Yeah.
not just like you know, a computer type thing. You know, that's why I think like that could be the game changer with, especially like, you know, if they shorten days, things like that. I mean, you know, I don't know. I think and people just being more educated, I think it could be like some madness, man, for just like the job market, things like that. Like, not that I don't want other people to, or like, you know, like, yo, you know, we gotta, you know, yeah, like we gotta work hard for our degree, man.
yeah,
So,
sure. Well, I mean, not too hard.
yeah, no,
But-
I'm kidding, guys. That was pretty light, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do think like that could be like, again, like going into the next decade, that could be like a main. But I just wanted to. I actually had a thought. I can't even like remember what I was. It was something to do with like the. Oh yeah, so we were talking about sort of when we were talking about like, you know, meeting people, socialize, whatever. I had a point I forgot to say, but like, so for example, like I remember we discussed this, but sort of now that we're sort of in our mid-20s, you think just like sort of making friends and stuff is different?
Yeah,
Because like,
yeah, we talked about that a bunch of times. Sorry, we talked about that a bunch of times before, right?
Yeah.
And it's one thing to talk about it, and it's another thing to see it kind of happen now. But nah, man, I don't think we're gonna. I think making friends is gonna be a lot harder now.
yeah,
Just because we can't be. We're expected to sort of be air quotes a little more socially acceptable and mature. Which means, you know, not being fucking idiots from the start. You know, I mean, it's definitely considered super weird to like go up to somebody at a party and just kind of, you know, talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, I know everybody says be yourself and, you know, all that jazz, but I mean, in
no,
reality,
but I mean, even in a like regular, like
no,
let's
no,
say,
no, I know, but
let's say just like me and a friend,
yeah,
and then you meet, like, cause I feel like back in the day when I
Yeah.
was younger, there's a good chance that like if I was just to like meet one of your boys and then boom, 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 and
Yeah.
then like, you know, even we could like just be
yeah,
homies,
yeah. Then
whatever.
everybody be like chill,
Yeah.
because we're kids and, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But now it'd just be a little more like, I don't know. It'd be like meeting. I don't know, man. People, we're a little more cautious of strangers. I feel at this age, you know, even though we should have been as kids, but
I mean, I don't know. It's not like we had that much stuff. It's not like I got all this fame and like, you know.
no, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, we definitely hold. Because the thing is, we hold everybody. At least I feel like we hold everyone to a higher standard now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, when we were kids, everyone we met was like, it was like a huge percentage of all the people we already knew. But now that we know a lot more people, everyone's just like a smaller number. And so we have higher standards. And so, if someone, I don't know, man, like, I don't know, give me an example. Like someone comes to you and they're a little too jokey or whatever, you'd be like, man, I don't like that guy, and it's the same thing for us, man. If we come up to someone
we start.
and we're like, and if we, I don't know, we instead of saying, oh, good morning, how's it going? If we open up with like, oh yeah, what's good? People be like, oh, they're so immature, They still talk like they're, trying to be gangsters. Oh, fuck, I don't know, whatever, But yeah, man,
it's hard not to, man.
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool with us. It's a bad habit, man. I have at work. I said to like my the boss's secretary. I was like, yo, if you didn't get the file, I could send that email real quick. And she's like, excuse me? And I was like, oh shit. I was like, dude, I'm at work. I was like, dude, I gotta stop the slang and stuff like that. It's getting out of hand. But it's bleeding into my professional life. But
So on that note, so we're hour in.
oh, we are hour in.
So we ended on New Year's resolution. Or I mean, even if it's not like New Year's resolution,
we got 45 minutes to the new year, man.
Oh yeah. Or
The best time to reflect, guys.
but just like, I mean, if not like a whatever, like your aim for at least, let's not do decade now, but just like the the following year, 2020.
Following 2020. Yeah, actually, I think the top priority is to get that blue belt. Although the top priority should be quitting fucking smoking, because that shit's bad for you.
Straight up.
It's really bad for you. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. All that stuff, dude. Just get better. Like, I don't know. As long as I stay on the right track, I feel like I'm good. So don't deviate from the track. And everything will work out, because I feel like I'm in a good place. It's just a matter of time. And I gotta sit down and do my GRE, because I gotta do grad school. So I gotta study some more, man.
Well, when are you planning on doing all that? Like,
I mean, I gotta finish everything up by like March. So I gotta study for the exam all of January, February, and then do
how long it takes to get the result and stuff?
It's like immediate. You get the result like when you're done.
And then the application?
Application process opens in May.
For September?
Yeah, for September.
Really? There's not that much time, May and September.
Yeah, it's not. It keeps going until August, so
okay.
I got some time. Nearly 6 months. Oh, not 6 months, but.
And then what, like USA?
And then Boston. That's the worst accent, but yeah, man. Hopefully, inshallah, we're gonna make it happen.
Nice, man.
What about you, man? What you got?
Well, obviously, I want the podcast to, obviously,
and of course, the podcast guys, and of course,
reach its full potential. But no, I mean, obviously, I tried the YouTube thing. I'm gonna stick to it. Maybe try some new things. So I do want to like work a bit in that space. I do want to like find some sort of side hustle, or at least get some so we can start balling out a bit.
The hope I had was selling dope.
No, not that. But yeah, I also get jacked. I mean, that's like my resolution every year. But it's just getting harder and harder. But yeah, hopefully getting jacked this year. Yeah, just getting things at least like on a path. I think like once it's sort of you're on some sort of path, then it's like then it's just you got to put in some work, wait a bit, and So that's one, and obviously just basic stuff improve every year. Also, the smoking thing for me too, man.
Hondo, man.
Like really got to do that. And
that being said, I'm still gonna smoke one with you today, like as we go out. But
dude, why do you think I'm ending this right now? But no, guys. So yeah, that's my thing, guys. Let us know like what you guys are looking forward to next decade. What's your New Year's resolution?
And
we'll give you guys a shout out, like, and whatever we can maybe discuss it, whatever.
We'll probably read the comments if there are any left. But
yeah.
To the homeboys watching this, to all the friends, the family, whatever. I guess it's the official sort of platform for me to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year
to just about everybody out there. I hope it's good.
I hope it's a great year for everyone.
I hope it's a good everything, man. Year, decade, rest of the fuck it, like however long it takes. I hope it's good at the end of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, man.
Well wishes to my opposition. But yeah, guys,
I'm Daniel. That's Omar. That's our
have
podcast.
a great year.
Episode 5. Yeah.
I don't know, guys. Like
whatever. Who cares, man? We'll just keep making them.
Yeah, but yeah, guys, peace.
Peace.